But this idea that deep transformative healing in my experience is it's always embodied and it's always experiential by its very nature. Of course, new concepts, new ideas, new perspectives can all be helpful, but it's a felt change at the neural, the synaptic level. In the end, really, that heals, that transforms or transmutes, to use the alchemical term. That is what shifts or widens or expands our consciousness and our everyday life experience. So to use our time together as a type of inner or relational yoga or a way of prayer or deep listening, where with one another we're not just sort of consuming more information. Because I'm guessing anyway that many of us here in a group like this, we've done a lot of that. And that's important and supportive. And of course, there are going to be ideas, theories, and concepts that we'll explore together. But I just want to invite us all here at the beginning, and that very much includes myself as well, to make use of the material that arises during our course. Whether you're watching the replay or you're here live, or reflecting while you're out on a walk in nature or during your yoga or meditation or prayer practice, or engaged in that most transformative yoga of intimacy and relationships and parenting, washing the dishes, playing with the dogs or the kids or the grandkids. But just to begin to see this, to see these moments as a doorway or a portal into your own alchemical library, which is a library of your own body and nervous system, soul and spirit. And to bring curious attention, of course, to what everyone says and shares here, a real sense of mindfulness and presence to that. But perhaps even more importantly, or at least equally importantly, to those silent spaces in between or underneath the words and the concepts, to the space around it all, and to the images and to the feelings and the intuitive knowings that are invoked in you as we move forward together. Which of course will, inevitably include feelings of openness, clarity, unity, peace, expansiveness, joy. But also the more sort of wrathful and disorganizing guides and experiences of heartbreak, restlessness, shame, grief, and rage. All are welcome. All of these visitors to the nervous system, to the soul, as important and valid messengers. This is all vital in terms of what it might mean to come to trust in the wisdom of our immediate, direct experience, to begin to really trust that psyche, that soul is always speaking to us, but often in a language that can take some practice and some familiarity in order to attune to. And this is what our friends, the ancient alchemists were doing, is they looked into the vessel, the actual physical vessel in which the materials were interacting with one another, but also the more subtle vessel of their own psyche and soul. And as they interacted with the materials that they found there, feelings and images and dream figures and synchronicities, fantasies, intuitive knowings, and even more subtle felt experiences of aliveness, presence, love, and bliss. And, they also met the figures of soul who carry these experiences on our behalf. The wisdom guides and allies, as well as the figures of our own unlived lives, who I often refer to as the lost orphans of Psyche and Soma, who carry disowned, dissociated, and split off qualities and experiences that we've all lost touch with as a result of personal, familial, cultural, ancestral, and collective, trauma and wounding of all kinds, betrayals, pieces of soul, aspects of the somatic unconscious who continue to appear inside and around us in hopes of returning home, of being felt and integrated into the wholeness that we are. Figures of emptiness, sadness, melancholy, and shame, and also of joy, unity, bliss, and pure being. It really is a full spectrum of family members. And in the end, we can see this in the lives of the mystics and the alchemists, which are our lives. There is a certain fidelity and a devotion. It's a real love affair, actually, with the materials, with the vessels, with the processes, with the colors, and with the entirety of the sensuality of their experience and their invitation to us, which they whisper at times. If we can sensitize ourselves to that frequency, to that band, which we'll be doing together, is to begin to awaken this curiosity and this love and this devotion in ourselves, which so many of us have very understandably lost contact with. That basic joy of just being itself. A joy that's causeless. And the qualities inherent in that, connection, wholeness, openness, a warmth, that basic sense of the awe and the wonder of being alive, that capacity to play in reality that our world has in so many ways forgotten or split off from, dissociated from, due to all the overwhelm and the stress and the separation, that felt sense that who and what I am is somehow separate from others, from life, from Gaia, from spirit.